Hey, what's up guys? Today I'm going to show you how to do the kicker subwoofer upgrade for your 5th gen Chevy Camaro. Now this Camaro has the upgraded Boston acoustic sound system, so it's going to be a little different than the standard Camaro, but it'll give you an idea of what needs done. First of all, let's look at what it came with. The kicker subwoofer, the harness, some zip ties and brackets, the instructions, and limited warranty. To be honest with you, the instructions are a little on the vague side. There's a few pictures in here. Not everything is very specific to a certain model. So I'm just going to start tearing stuff apart and try and get it put in. I'm not going to make you follow me through the whole thing, so I'll just record the important parts. But if you have any questions, just let me know. Thanks. Alright, so the first thing we did was pulled the carpet up. I'm going to take that out, pull this out, set it aside. You've got this wonderful thing, which I don't even know why I still have in here. Pull that out. That'll get you down to the basics: the battery, your power ground connections, the harness, and then of course the speaker. The subwoofer is going to mount right here in this corner, so this exposes everything. Okay, so here's one of those issues I was referring to. There's input connection without the factory premium audio and connection with factory premium audio. zl1 has Boston acoustics. That's the premium upgrade. It wants you, it keeps making reference to this 6-inch adapter harness that did not come with anything in my box. All I got was really a single harness, which both of these connections go on the subwoofer. And then it has this one 2-wire green-brown wire connector, which it says you're supposed to put this 6-inch adapter onto. I don't have one. I don't know if they left it out or if it comes with anybody else's. I don't know. I don't have one, so I got nothing to work with. But it says it wants you to splice it in with the blue and white stripe and green with black stripe wire at the left rear, so driver rear, package tray speaker. So if you look at the speaker, on the right side, driver's side, which I'm just plugged in right here. I'm going to have to pull some of this tape off. But there is a blue with white stripe wire and a green with black stripe wire. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to strip some of this tape back, and I'm going to cut off the white 2-point connector and splice the 2 wires in as per instructions to these 2 wires. The only downside is there won't be a plug and play harness to remove it. I don't know why you'd really want to remove it. I guess if you wanted to take it out and sell it or replace it or any of those reasons. I don't foresee that anytime soon, and if I did, it's not that difficult for me to just cut the wire and redo it. It's just not hard to get to. So I went ahead, and I don't think you have to do this, but I went ahead and pulled the plastic and undid the carpet just so nothing was in my way. There is a stud right here that there was a plastic cap on. You just twist the cap off. There's going to be a rubber grommet that goes on there that the speaker sits onto. And then you got one up there that I think it's going to mount to as well. I'm going to go ahead and run this harness, splice it in, and then we'll come back to it. This is the option I went with. It says the green goes to the blue wire with the white stripe. There's actually more than one. So, a lot of help that does. The brown is supposed to go to the green with the black stripe. That one's obvious. The blue one I chose was right beside the green one. We'll see how that works out. To be honest with you, I can't find any information that says otherwise. As I said, the instructions are kind of meh. So we'll see if I mess up. If I mess up, don't do it. If it works, do it. What else to say? But this tape, you don't have to unravel it. You just push it up. It'll scrunch up. These type of connectors I'm using, you may have something better to use. You may not like these. That's what I'm trying. I got plenty of wire if I mess up, so I'm not too worried about it. But basically, it fits over one wire, then you cut one down in it, and it crimps them together and creates a power splice. It's just a sending wire to power the amp, so quality of it shouldn't be an issue. So I'm not going to do any type of soldering or anything like that, but we'll see what happens. Okay, so ground wire, positive, negative, and up there behind the carpet, that's bolted in, spliced in speaker wire, plugged back in. Now this thing, the pictures on the instructions are upside down, by the way, if you look at them and can't figure it out. There's a rubber, we'll call it a rubber grommet, that goes over the stud down there. The speaker sits on top of that. This bracket here, there's a bracket attached to the sub, which you can see. The kit comes with an additional bracket that you want to first attach with a bolt and nut to the push pin location for the carpet. Take the carpet, push it back behind the plate, bolt the bracket on. They're both 10 mils. And then once you do that, you can set the speaker down on the stud, push it up against the bracket you put in, and screw it down. Both 10 mils. Harnesses are plugged in back behind it. Everything's wired up. And just put all your stuff back in. I'm going to put the cover back on, a carpet in, and see what happens. Okay, so here it is all finished. Nice tight fit. Carpet's in, everything's in. Yeah, I know. I got a little mess. That's what happens when you keep car cleaners in your trunk rolling around. Not the best idea. Unfortunately, it washes out. But everything's back on. I know earlier I said you shouldn't have to take this off. And looking back at it, no, you probably don't have to. But given how easy it is to take off with these little twist knobs, I recommend it. It made things a lot easier as far as tucking the carpet back and dealing with all that afterward. There's the sub. There's the connection, and then the power and ground's underneath. And then there's two plugs that tuck back in there. It doesn't really use a lot of room. I mean, I don't know how much you put in your trunk to begin with. And everything works, so I'm assuming I wired it correctly. There are two wires here that have a blue-white stripe, like the instructions say. Yeah, it said to put the green wire to the one with blue and white, but as you can see, there are two of those. So I ended up going with pin 3 and 4. I don't know if you can see that. The green one's on 3, blue one's on 4. The instructions didn't say to splice it into the plug side or the harness side or which blue wire to use. The instructions pretty vague. So I spliced in using these because it doesn't actually cut the connection. It just shares it. Figured if I hooked it up, I'd find out real quick if it didn't work. But it works really well. It works really, really well. For you guys that are wanting a lot of bump, they're trying to, I don't know, shake some windows and show off, it probably not for you. If you're like me and you've got to turn the stereo up to 25 or 30 to get some decent bass, or at least, you know, what we can hear, and everybody's different, and you don't like doing that, this is for you. I max my stereo out at about 15 now, and it sounds great.